I like to live in that honeymoon phase. If that's what you're into, like, do your thing. Just communicate it to the other person because they don't want to be on that life roller coaster. Some people just want to cruise. Just communicate that. If you're a selfless person.
Communicate that. Oh, by the way, as soon as someone better comes along, you gotta go.
No.
You probably saw a future with that person. Maybe you wanted to marry that person, and now you're still keeping in touch.
I can't stop myself from feeling, but I can control my actions.
Cheating can be great in a lot of areas.
You got me feeling good today.
Welcome everyone to Jam Session number 9 with Jazz and
Montez.
Today we're talking about breakups and who is wrong.
Never me. This episode of Jam Session is sponsored by one of my close friends and somebody that I grew up with, Brandon Frazier, and his clothing brand, Mushy Co. I don't know if you can read this, but money is just paper, but it affects people like poetry. Nice little quote.
That's deep.
That's deep. Touch the heart. Mm-hmm.
And it's mushy, like squishy mushy, like that's what the name of it? Mushy Co?
I don't think that was his intention, but yes, it's called Mushy Co. Mushy Co.
That's dope. Okay. All right, we're going to get right into it. Let's start with the first question. So your significant other says they don't love you romantically anymore, but they still care about you as a friend. You are otherwise happy in the relationship. Would you stay or end the relationship?
We got kids?
No.
Nah, we can go elsewhere. Yeah, we don't gotta stay. If we're both not happy in a relationship, we don't gotta be in a relationship.
No, you're happy.
She's not.
Right.
So takes two to tango. I don't even know how to tango, but it makes sense for everybody else that's trying to digest this information. Yeah, I know. Like, if she's not happy, we're not happy together.
I agree. Plus, why would I want to be with someone that I love and they don't love me the same? That wouldn't even fulfill me. Like, maybe I was happy up until that point, and as soon as I have that information, I'm no longer happy even moving forward.
Oh, I don't know about that. So, I would still be happy
in the relationship. I'm saying
that's fine, but I would still be happy in the relationship because it's still my decision. Just because somebody else doesn't like me doesn't mean that I am not allowed to continue to like them or love them. So
would you feel loved? Would you feel fulfilled in the love that they're unable
that means
to
that I'm still happy. That isn't just because they're not still as attracted to me doesn't mean that I'm not attracted to them. Just because I'm not wanted doesn't mean that I can't want. I can't desire. So just because someone says that they're unhappy with me doesn't mean that I'm unhappy with them. That's not how it works. It just means that it's not going to work. That doesn't mean that I'm unhappy. I might be unhappy that that person doesn't feel the same way, but doesn't mean that I don't desire that person still. I just make a conscious decision to go in the opposite direction because I know it's not going to be fulfilling for both of us. And I am a provider. And if I'm unable to provide, then it's not best for me or that person. We almost agreed on that, though. At a superficial level, we agreed on that. Yeah.
All right, next one. A man breaks up with a woman and she asks why. He says he met someone better. Is he wrong for that, or does he have a valid reason to leave?
He's wrong. For sure he's wrong. But it depends on how long they've been in a relationship, I guess. But no, for me, yes, he's wrong. Because we live in a society where it's like America is very capitalistic. Let's start with it. America is very capitalistic, and that has now fallen down to the individual in every aspect of their life. We're always searching to be in a better situation. And that has now dissipated the traditional relationship. It's a struggle, but it's true. You're in a relationship that could be great, but eyes are constantly wandering to find out, how can I get that great plus one? So do I think that he's wrong? Yes, because you're basing a hope off of what has been proven to be good.
Yeah, it's one of those grass is always greener on the other side. Then you get over there and you realize there's still some patches that aren't so green.
You realize that shit is turf. It's not grass. But right. I don't know. It depends on how you want to live your life. Because some people are just like, well, I'm perfectly fine. Like I like to live in that honeymoon phase. Some people like that. And then it's not necessarily the person, it's the situation. If that's what you're into, do your thing. Just communicate it to the other person because they don't want to be on that life roller coaster. Some people just want to cruise. Just communicate that. If you're a selfless person.
Communicate that. Oh, by the way, as soon as someone better comes along, you got to go.
No. I'm saying in the beginning of the relationship, let them know that you're not in it for the long haul.
Right.
And then that'll let that person know what decision that they should make.
Yeah, if they're in it for the temporary thrill or they want something.
I love how you just try to make me sound like I was saying something absolutely wild. I mean, I guess at first it did kind of sound wild, but no, like for me, communicate. Like I would rather have the information and then be able to make the decision the same way I would rather bestow the same information that I have that person doesn't have, so that they can make whatever decision is best for them. Because they're not making good decisions for themselves and then walking on the same path towards whatever that common goal is, then you're on separate pages and more than likely you could be reading the wrong book.
We're going to end on that note. All right. A woman leaves her husband because he says he isn't physically attracted to her anymore. Is she wrong?
Wrong? No.
So, well, is that a reason to leave a marriage?
Yes. What the heck? Like, could you imagine? Like, this is not to say like people don't have different journeys and people don't have different struggles. And if you commit to somebody, you should battle through whatever that situation is with them. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we got into this relationship on the understanding, for me, that there's going to be physical attraction consistently throughout our relationship. There is a contract that says that you will still be you and I will still be me to a certain degree and we will grow together. But if that unwritten rule is now altered without the discussion with me, no. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. I keep my body physically fit and I would have the same expectation from the person I choose to have the remaining days of my life with.
Now, let's say that she got in a car accident. Mm-hmm. She no longer looks the same because of something that she could not control. Has nothing to do with her not being physically fit. Well, maybe her face don't look the same. Right,
and I still love her. That's something we can't control. But I'm a big advocate of control what we can control.
Right. But what if she wasn't looking
I'll sitting right now how I am right now, I will be fine with that. But that's something that we both go through a tragedy together. Yeah. But losing yourself in terms of fitness and health over time, that is a consistent decision for months and months and months.
Oh, right. But they had nothing. This question had nothing to do with that. It never did it specify that she lost her body or that she was unattracted. It just said that he just decided he just said he's no longer physically attracted to her. It doesn't
physically
say
attracted. What are we talking about?
It doesn't mean that she gained weight or that she's like lost or that she's let herself go. Like maybe just he's like, oh, I'm not into you anymore. Like I'm not attracted to you like that.
Physically. Which means she went from one place where she was physically.
Well, maybe she's older and she's got wrinkles now and she's not as.
He ages too.
Okay.
Let's not. You're making it seem like time only works for one person now. No. We're not doing. He ages too, and then as that age continues, his eyes.
Right, but do we not see in the society that men, no matter if they age or not, sometimes they trade in their wife for a younger version, 20 years younger, because they can. Because men can literally get a woman 20, 30 years younger, and girls will go for that.
And you don't think that women can get a man 20, 30 years younger? Cougars was a thing before. Like, what are we talking about? Yes, it can happen on both sides, and it does happen on both sides.
Right.
All right, so
but you're saying that that if you weren't attracted, that it would be good to leave the relationship.
If they let themselves go, yes.
Yeah, but if that wasn't the case, if it wasn't that they let themselves go,
then what's the scenario? You give me a scenario and I'll give you an answer.
Maybe they didn't age as well as you. Maybe they, like I said,
my grandma got some great genes. I don't think anybody is going to age unless they're like some type of islander or something. Like I'm not, but I understand that. I still want to make a decision based on how I feel about the person as well. But if they just...
Yeah, if they let themselves go, that's different because now you're saying that they don't even have self-care. They're not taking care. I mean,
right. They made an individual decision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying selfish. Yeah. Yeah, it's selfish. But I'm not saying that like there's some type of health condition or there's something that they couldn't control. Just to say, I just decided to eat 4 meals a day and a certain amount of calories a day just because I loved food. Like, all right, then you was thinking more about the food and yourself than you were about our relationship.
Yeah.
So as a long-term thing, I might have made the decision in that moment, but you made the decision over months and years. Like, no. Okay.
You said it enough.
Tracy Morgan, no.
What if your woman gains weight after childbirth and then she cuts her hair off because
she cuts her hair off?
Because she's a mom
her
now
hair.
And, it's too hard to take care of the long hair. So anyways, but he leaves because he says so yeah, it's the same thing, I guess. He's no longer physically attracted.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love natural hair. I love it. Whether it's straight, whether it's curly, whether it's nappy, I love it. But if she decided to cut her hair, that's her decision. That's her decision. That's not like something that I cannot live with. And if she has I don't know what the baby and the hair had to do anything, but if she also has a baby and we have a child together, like the relationship is based on the child now. It's not based on just us. But am I going to be an advocate and a support system for her to continue to care about her health? Maybe not at the intensity that we were going at before she had a child, because having a dad bod is a very similar thing too. It may not have as large of an effect, but I'm going to still be a motivator to make sure that my family is healthy, that my family is eating, that my family is working towards being a better version of themselves than they were the day before. So like, yeah, when my baby come out the womb, he's going to have a basketball in his hand and some weights on his shoulder.
I think for the ladies, I you hear it a lot that men are so physically, like all they care about is the physical, and that they're so visual, and that shouldn't matter. He should love me for who I am and for my heart and like my personality, who I am.
That's some bullshit.
But
that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm not advocating for that. I'm saying that when you decide to marry someone, they marry you when you're, probably at your best, or at least that's what they're committing to. And then if you do let yourself go, that really is selfish on your part to not keep up your end of the bargain. Like it's just.
And that's not including health issues.
Yeah, I'm not talking about health issues. I'm saying, again, what you can control, continue to work out. Like don't quit going to the gym and just be lazy. That's just not.
Because I know a bunch of women that women go to college just to get married, just to find that the other half, and they will drop out of school and then stop working out. And then it's like a big thing. And they feel like the marriage is, to me, I look at it as like low-key a trap. Don't get scammed out here, young fellas.
Okay, but I've seen it go both ways. I've seen a man marry a woman and then he lets himself go. She's still fit and he's just like got a big gut now. He doesn't care anymore. He just gets all shaggy.
I'm not at no point do I live in a double standard. At no point is it okay. I'm talking on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Be aware. Just be aware. I don't agree with the fact that you're your best self when you get married. I agree that you've had a lot of experiences and then you become okay with the goods, the in-betweens, and the rock bottoms with that person. And then because those battlefields and those battlegrounds have been tested as a unit, you're able to withstand. Because life is going to life. Life will never stop lifing. Them lessons are coming. And if you have a partner that you can get through those things with, great. And for me, one of those things is just don't get too far out of shape. I like them. I like thickness. I'm thick with 3 C's, but don't think that it's okay to just let yourself go, because on the opposite end, the example that you brought up about women and they should accept you for you, and that's a wild double standard that I don't want to dive into too much, but like that's saying that you can control another person and how they feel. And then when a man does it to you, or your opposite does that to you, you can't tell me how to feel. Well, you're telling somebody else how to feel about you. Like you can't have that double standard.
Valid point.
You can't pressure somebody into loving you or liking you. We're allowed to dislike. We're allowed to like. Just don't act to oppress. That's the only thing. You can feel how you want to feel. Just don't act to control or oppress or suppress, or whatever way you want to take it.
That was good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the Mushy Co hoodie. It got me feeling good today.
Okay, a woman has lost all respect for her man.
Damn.
Can the relationship be resurrected? Can it be salvaged after respect has been lost?
I think anything can be salvaged. One, it's because I think humans are capable of anything that they decide to. And 2, because respect is a range. What is once considered disrespect or respect gained completely or lost completely for that individual person, because humans are the most malleable mammals on the planet, that can change the very next day. A single experience can change what that person sees as complete loss. And it can be something that has nothing to do with that other person, or it can be something that person has changed in themselves that has sparked a light in the relationship. But no, I don't think it's completely dead. But again, you need to go into that conversation with the decision that I want to try to make this work. There is a possibility. But if one has already decided that there is no chance and they are a very decisive person, then for sure, yeah. But the likelihood of most human beings, in my opinion, being decisive is slim.
Well, either way, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, if the woman lost all respect, I think if she, again, I mean, I would have to piggyback off of what you said, that if she decides that she will at least try and that she's willing to make the effort to give him the opportunity to regain her respect, then it can be salvaged. If she's already decided in her heart, like, I've written you off as far as respect, like, I will coexist with you.
Coexist. I don't think that's forgiveness.
No, it's not forgiveness.
Okay.
Right. Which is why I'm saying, like, it wouldn't be a great relationship, but how many relationships have we seen that people stay together and they don't have, like, I mean, there's so many relationships that are together that probably shouldn't be, or that just aren't happy, or that are
probably
lacking.
Shouldn't be. You can't decide whether somebody should be with another person.
No, but I'm saying, like, they're not healthy relationships. Okay. There's a lot of people that stay together that aren't healthy and happy. Yeah, I think it would be better to not be in a relationship if it's not healthy or happy. And if you're miserable, like, why would, you know?
I'm a very, like, forgiving person, because I like to let humans be human. And I also know what weight I can bear. And it's like, I can shrug off. I can swallow some screams. Even if they're big screams, I'm really good at swallowing some screams. But if I have a child with somebody, it's about that child or those children. Mm-hmm. So I will swallow some screams. And I'm a good actor, so I will act some. Some of it might leak through because I'm human, but I would do my best to make sure that that child or those children have everything. Yeah, I might lose all respect for the relationship, but I will never lose respect for that person being a human. So, and this also works the other way, because men ain't the only one out here cheating. All right. So that question, my first thought was like, I like how they posed it. But then I was like, I don't really like how they posed it.
Well, I think the reason why this question was posed that way is because, you know, the famous saying that men care more about being respected and women care more about being loved. Do you agree with that statement? I mean, that is like kind of across the board, like in relationship.
It depends on how you were raised, but as a majority, I would agree with that. Because not all men are the same and not all women are the same. But yes, right. at a majority, I would agree. I think
that's why they pose it that way, though, is that if you pose it for a woman on her end, it might have been a man has lost love for her, you know, instead of it being the respect thing. So I think that's why they did it that way. But I agree with you. It does go both ways. All right, we're moving on. Drunk one night. You're not drunk. You're significant.
Definitely not drunk.
Okay.
For sure not drunk.
Okay.
But
your
I can use my imagination.
Other had a cup, like a little too much to drink, and they tell you that they don't love you anymore. The next day, when they're sober, they say they didn't mean it. So which do you choose to believe, and how do you respond to that situation? I'm
going to believe the drunk version. That's because we have been conditioned by society to be less human. We have been conditioned by time to be less human. Like, we're not allowed to make mistakes. And the more we are off of ourselves, the more human we are. It just so happens that when you're drunk, you're not thinking. You're just going off of your feeling. So.
Yeah, that's some real truth that comes out.
And
you have no inhibitions.
And my thing is, like, I'm going to believe both sides, because for me, I know how I feel, but that doesn't mean that I express how I feel. I can feel however the I want to feel, but it's only my actions that matter. I can't stop myself from feeling, but I can control my actions. In that moment, it was just feel. She had relinquished the pressures of society and was just being. That's okay. She can have a human moment, but as long as she decides to do the things that love me, then that's okay with me. That is actually okay with me. And I'll give an example. And you tell me if this is okay. Actually, I'm going to address this to the world. If a man does something for a woman and they do not want to do that thing, is he wrong for not doing it and wanting to do it? Or is he okay because he does it? So I'm going to give the example, because that is a very, like,
I have my answer for that.
Okay. Women, you want your man to go get a pedicure with you, but he lets you know that I don't want to do this. I'm only doing this because this makes you happy. And then you get upset with him because he doesn't want to do it. Is he wrong for not wanting to do it? Or is he right for doing it? Now, this conversation has come up so many times with some of my female friends. And it's like, I want you to do it because you want to do it. Don't just do it because I tell you to do it. I'm like, what? I don't have to want to do what you want to do. And that's my opinion. But the amount of times that somehow the guy is still wrong, or the other person, doesn't have to be a guy, is still wrong because he doesn't want to do that thing. I wanted to headbutt a wall trying to convince them the opposite direction. I was flabbergasted. But yes, go ahead. Continue. Please, you answer it.
No, I completely agree with you. Okay. I think it's ridiculous that anyone would expect a man to like to do those type of things. It's like you flip the script, and if a man loves hunting and a woman goes with him because he's like, oh, babe, it would just mean the world to me if you'd come with me and we could spend a weekend hunting. She's probably not going to love that or enjoy it. But if she's doing it because she loves him. She's doing it because it makes him happy. It fills his cup. And so that's still a selfless act. If you're going to do it, I wouldn't say it means more, but it kind of almost does. It's like, oh, if I want to do something and you want to do it too, then great. We're both benefiting from this situation. Like you're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. It's not entirely for me. It's actually you like to do this too. But if you're doing something that is completely selfless and out of the like what you would never choose to do on your own, but you're doing it solely for the happiness of the other person, that is a selfless act of love. And I think that you should be extremely grateful and happy to have someone like that in your life. Yes.
I'm going to go a little bit further. I think we explained it too well, and most people are going to be like, bro, that's obvious, until the emotion is involved. Guys, girls, there's this video. Now, this video is old. It's a cartoon, and I know it's on YouTube. I love this video. It's like maybe a 4-minute skit of this black guy and this black girl on the phone. And the woman's like, hey, do you want me to come over? He's like, yeah, if you want to come over, it's cool. And she's like, okay, but do you want me to come over? And then he's like, yeah, I'm like, if you want to slide by, like, slide by. And then she goes, look, if you don't want me to come over, just say you don't want me to come over. And it eventually just continues to escalate like that. And then eventually it gets to the point where he was like, woman, if you come over, great. But if you don't, I will still be okay with my night. Is he wrong, or is she wrong?
That's a completely different scenario.
Is it?
You just switched up the entire...
Is it?
Yes!
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I did.
That is way different.
Okay.
Now we're in a whole new topic, a whole different conversation, and a whole different line of thinking.
I don't know.
I do not think that is one and the same whatsoever.
I think it's connected.
No.
What do y'all think? Was that connected?
That was so off.
Is she wrong or is she not wrong?
Trail, down some other lane.
Maybe I did, because I do love that cartoon.
It's just like, what are we talking about here? I think the issue with that
is the desire to be wanted. It's the desire to want what I want. I don't see how that's not connected.
It's not.
Okay. Now who's right? Who is right?
Yeah, please comment on this one, because I want to know.
She's wrong. Huh?
I heard that.
What?
I heard that.
You ain't got your headphones on. You ain't hear nothing.
Oh, I heard that. I got bionic ears. All right, we're moving on to the next. You and your partner break up, but they still keep in contact with your friends and family. Is this acceptable?
Yeah, what? They built a relationship, and we don't have to. Most of my relationships didn't break up on like some you should die type of thing. Like, that's what? You are human. You can still be, and like, to add to the pot, what if we got kids together? Okay, but
what if you don't? This is not one of those situations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So all right, I'll give you an example. My first ever like actual girlfriend. We broke up. She was with her new boyfriend, and her new boyfriend hit her. And everybody that knows me knows that the quickest way to get me to fight is if you hit a female in front of me. I'm in Iowa right now playing basketball. She calls me because like I'm the problem solver. Everybody always calls me when they need help. Issue was I couldn't fly home to whoop his ass. She calls me saying they live together. She doesn't have any place to go, but she's scared. She calls my mom. My mom is one of the most giving people, and it's a large reason the way I am today. And my mom would guaranteed house her, guaranteed, like not even a second thought. She cheated on me with him. That does not mean that another human being doesn't need help. My mom would have helped her. I would have helped her. But I literally just used my scholarship money to send it home for my family. So I couldn't fly back home regardless. And my mom was literally the only person that I knew that would drop everything and go, for a complete stranger, by the way. She's not a stranger to each other. They're not a stranger to each other, but she would do that. So she called my mom. I'm not going to stop a relationship. Like, people are allowed to live the way they are allowed to live unless that person has a negative effect on the people that I love. Then I will stop it. But it's not going to be out of selfishness. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay,
no, that's fair. I agree. There have been certain situations that I've seen where people try to stay a part of the family and like show up to different events and be like, oh, I'm still here. Like, and I think that's a bit much, but yeah, no, I mean, you are allowed to have especially you think about certain people that built a relationship with maybe like your mom or something. And why are you looking like that?
Wait, you saying that they just showing up or they was invited to because if you show up to a barbecue at my spot and my family don't want you, my family's not bad people, by the way. Don't want y'all to think about family, but
no. What if she's still close to your cousin or something and your cousin invited her? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you just saying they just showed up.
No,
like,
no.
nah.
Like, maybe you didn't know they were coming. You didn't invite them, but like someone in your family did. You know?
Yeah,
what
my
I mean?
family would tell me that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family would definitely tell me that. But again, it's not my barbecue. It's a family barbecue. And if they still consider her family, then I definitely switched it. Did I switch it to barbecue or did you switch it to barbecue?
You definitely switched it to barbecue. Your mind went straight. Oh, maybe I said it. Actually, I don't know. I might have said a family barbecue. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think if they feel like they never had a mom and your mom became their mom or whatever, for whatever reason, like there should be no reason why you should like say you're not allowed to have that relationship anymore.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Wait, but let's take that to the next step now that you say that. Okay. What about the next relationship? It now puts the pressure on that person to be a secure person. If my ex is still very close to my mom, it's not my decision at that point.
Right.
But I mean, for me, I would typically date somebody who is very secure with themselves. But for other people, that would be tough.
Well, it would be tough because for the woman, she might feel like she's always competing for that place in your mom's life, or feeling like she has to, like, oh, she already loves whoever the other girl is. And like, but again, that does come down to security.
But my mom's love is limitless. So
exactly. So it shouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
I mean, there's some relationships where like the ex and the current are like, they become really close friends. Yeah. What y'all think about that? That would be, yeah. Let us know.
Other than cheating or physical abuse, what is something you would leave a relationship over?
Lying. We lie all the time. There's accidental lies. It happens. Accountability is a big thing. So I just don't build a whole scenario that avoids you from taking accountability.
This one's hard.
What's the question again?
It says, other than cheating or physical abuse, what is something you would leave a relationship over?
It depends on how bad it gets.
I mean, this is the thing. I don't even think it's just physical abuse. I think if there's like a ton of emotional and verbal abuse, I mean, hopefully you wouldn't get into a relationship that had that, but you never know. Some people can put on a really good act for a really long time. Put it this way. I actually personally know someone like...
Go ahead, continue.
Personally know someone in my family that had gone through this with their first marriage. And he was, I mean, treated her like a queen and had everybody fooled. Like the parents, everybody was like, this man is going to just, for the rest of his life, he's going to serve you, adore you, love you, think that you're, whatever. And he was like a God-fearing man, like all these things. And he served his community and he was respectable. I mean, just so many things. He really played the perfect role in order to become the husband of this woman. Anyways, as soon as they got married, like the night of their wedding, he goes, I never loved you. You were just a challenge. And you're not and said that he wanted her to get a boob job, that she wasn't as attractive as like that he wanted her to change her body in order for him to be attracted to her. He quit going to church like immediately. Like that was all for show. He actually didn't have any relationship with God. I mean, everything. It's like he switched it up overnight, and that woman decided to stay with her man. I would have left immediately. Like if that were to be the case.
Well, damn, beloved. What? How? What? This man deserves an Oscar. Everybody's going to agree that that's wild. But I'm still learning. You said something in the beginning. I'm still learning emotional abuse. Verbal abuse is not really. I have a mouthpiece on me, and I know how strong my voice is. I'm not going to tear anybody down. But I'm also not going to let anybody else tear me down. I didn't think about the verbal thing, but I would definitely agree with that. We talked about something earlier. If they get obese. No,
I wouldn't leave someone over. They would have to make a conscious decision to get unobese, to lose the weight. And to, if they got there, I would be like, okay, now we gotta work on this.
To get unobese. That's great. That is a great word. Unobese. You know what my mind actually went to? Because I'm an extremely like organized, like in my brain and outwardly organized person. So if someone isn't like organized and clean, like they just become a hoarder, bruh.
That is next level. That is, yeah.
No.
Okay, true or false? If you really love them, you will fight to win them back. Defend your answer.
False. So I took this like 3 steps because I've had some stupid emotional moments. I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't. I've been cheated on, and I low key, if you just don't lie to me, I think we can work through it. So just like, please just tell me the truth. So I was like fighting in a way to get that person back to me, and they cheated on me. So it was like, yeah, I can't say that it's a true statement based on my own history. I can say now that things may be different, but it depends on how deeply in love with that person I am. And if I did something wrong, if I had too big of a human moment, would I want them to see the 99.9% of me and not that 0.1%? Yes. I would at least try to have a conversation and say, like, I admit to being wrong, and I am not taking away that fact with explaining what I'm going to explain, but your feelings are justified. And if you can forgive me, I promise to be better. And if they say, nah, off, go kick rocks with no shoes and socks, I might do that for a little bit just to prove that I'm like willing to hurt to get that person back. But I ain't gonna hurt too much, because just as I allow other people to be human, I'm allowed to be human too.
So you just contradicted yourself by saying false, but then you changed your answer to saying that you would fight for someone.
Yeah. That's why I said the past me would say false, because
the current you would
admit to being wrong. But the fight ain't gonna be like I'm going for weeks trying to win this person. Nah, I'm not chasing. Like I'm if I was to.
So that's not fighting for someone. You're saying if you really screwed up really bad, and then but you love this person and you don't want to lose them based off of your horrible mistake, then you would only have a conversation, and then you would be like, all right, cool. If you don't want this, then I'm just gonna go on my merry way. Okay.
That's for me, if I call that person and they don't answer, I'm gonna call one more time. I am not about to blow that person's phone up. I understand the situation. They understand the situation. I made a mistake. I will apologize. I might, depending on how it is, I will call twice. I will text, say I apologize. I hate voice notes. I might send a voice note just so they can hear my voice. But I would spread that out over maybe 3-4 days. If I don't hear back from them, I'm not reaching out again until they reach out. I made a mistake. I am sorry. But at no point am I swimming across the ocean. I will hurt. You will know that I'm hurt and that I'm sorry. But at no point am I traveling the terrains of the world to let them know that I will go to the ends of the world. No, I'm not doing that. So I guess it's still false then. Fine. It's false.
Yeah, it's definitely false. No, I will definitely fight for the one that I love. And because it's worth it to me. Because if you find someone that you want to choose to be with for the rest of it, I'm taking it to the to the degree of like, I'm in love with this person, this is who I want to choose for the rest of my life, I'm not going to let my pride or my ego get in the way of what could be a beautiful, you know, future with someone just because it's uncomfortable. Like I would definitely fight for someone and for something that I want.
You know what they say about fish and sea?
Oh, that there's plenty of
It's
them.
a lot of them things. It's a lot of them things.
But there's
Let's be
only one
honest.
you. There's only one Montez Blair in the world. Like to say that you're just that replaceable because there's just a million other people out there. Maybe someone actually thinks that you're that special that they would want to choose you for the rest of their life and that you're worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm still me. I'm not taking that away from me at all. But if somebody doesn't want to be with me and I made a mistake, I'm not going to force them to be there. That's even more selfish than what I did.
Oh, but we're not talking about force here at all. We're talking about kind of making up for the fact that you just effed up big time and you're letting them know like, no, I really love you. I really want this and I'm willing to fight for this.
Right.
Right.
And that shows by me showing them that I hurt, right? To a certain extent.
Not necessarily.
What do you mean not necessarily? How do you know?
We can agree to disagree on this one. It's fine.
The answer is false. For me. I might have to wear this hoodie more often. That was a good session.
All right, guys. Next session we have coming up is going to be, honestly, what would you do? That's the question. So there are going to be a lot of scenario questions that we're going to go over, and it covers a variety.
We'll catch y'all on the next jam session.